everyone, welcome back to our channel. It is Rachel here today for another installment of our 24 days of eyeshadow, whatever one it was. I guess I will double check, but you'll know if you're watching this. Today I played around with my Be Perfect Tahiti palette, which it's been a while because of our project pants, and since we since stopped those, I can now play with what I want. So I did use this palette. I used the same shades I always use in this palette because they always call to me in the same way and it's very annoying. But if you want to see how I got this eye look, then just keep on watching. Okay, so, first and foremost, we're going to go into our Be Perfect Tahiti palette. I'm pretty sure every time I open this palette, I use the same three colors: Fruity, Reef, and Blackberry. Every single time, because this teal, every time I open the palette, I say, ooh, I've got to use that, even though I don't gotta, but I did anyway. So I already have my eyelids primed with my MAC Painterly paint pot. It is nighttime, so it's okay if my eyeshadow creases, so it's no biggie that I'm using something that creases on my eyelids. I am demoing the rougher brushes for a different video with this, so if you see clips of this in a video previous or after this, that is why. So first, I'm going to go in with the Rephr number 15 brush. It's like a blending brush of sorts. And I'm going to start out with the shade Blackberry, which is the deepest purple in here. This isn't the most pigmented purple ever, but you sure can build it. It does stick. It doesn't get super patchy. So I'm just going to start building it on my outer corner. Obviously winging it out, because that's what I did on the last eye. I kind of winged that a little higher than anticipated, but that's fine. I'm just kind of building the color up a little. Not terribly though, because we're going to have to go back in and re-intensify it. I'm going to go in with the Rephr number 14, which is like this little this little fluffy brush. It does have a lot of fluff to it, so it's really nice for blending things out. I'm gonna go in with the shade Fruity, this bright little hot pink, purple, magenta kind of color. It's so pretty. Again, I always use this color when I dip into the palette. I'm just gonna start buffing out the edges of this purple. This is a very pigmented pink, so you just gotta work around that. And then I'm just going to go back in with the Rephr number 15 brush to kind of blend those together, blend the two colors. Then with the same brush, I wiped it off on my pants. I'm going to go in with the shade Lilac, which is the pink right there, and diffuse the edges a little bit further out. A touch of Fruity, a little bit, because again it's very pigmented, and kind of buffing the edges of that again, so we don't quite lose that color, but it's not as intense as it is on its own. And on this same brush, I did take a little bit of the shade Bare, which is right here. It's just like a peachy kind of pink color. I thought it would add a little bit of warmth to the look, even though it's already quite warm, but a little bit of pink and peachiness to the look. So I'm just adding a touch of that on top as well. I think it just adds that little extra oomph. Then I'm going to take this Rephr number 16 brush. It's this big fat fluffy brush, and I'm going to go back into the shade Lilac, which is that lightest dusty pink purple. I don't actually think it's a lilac. It's more pink than lilac, but I'm going to start buffing that right over here and across up here to continue and diffuse the edges. And I am going to dip back into my MAC paint pot and cut the crease, because since I'm using a matte on my cut crease, I want to make sure that it doesn't get kind of blended into the purples, because that would create a yucky, mucky color. So I don't need necessarily a blank canvas, but just enough. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with this Rephr 01 brush. It's like a tapered kind of blending brush. It's the coolest little brush. I wish I would have used it doing other work today, but I didn't, so here we are. I'm going to dip into the shade Reef, which is that bright teal right there. How can you not dip in this color every time you open the palette? That's my question. I'm gonna start packing that all over the lid. And then because the tip of this brush is so defined, you can go in and kind of blend that way. So that's what I like to do. So it's a harsh edge, but it's not too harsh, you know? Still gives us room to kind of blend if needed. Then I'm taking the Rephr number 13 brush. It's another teeny tiny blending brush, but this one's a little bit more dense. I'm going to go in with the shade The Deep, which is this deep blue here. This is not my favorite deep blue. The navy Mood from the original Carnival palette was my favorite navy ever, but I used it up. That was the best navy that has ever existed. This one doesn't even come close. It's not quite a navy, it's a little bit brighter, but I wish it was that same formula as Mood because I loved that shade. I'm going to tap into this Reef shade with that color and kind of go over that purple we have in the outer corner to help it work with the Reef shade a little bit better. I'm gonna go back in with the 01 brush and just kind of tap over the edges so we have a nice little blend there. I'm going to take the Rephr 02 brush. This is just a flat packer brush. These do have natural bristles, so they pick up shimmers quite nicely in my opinion. I'm going to pick up the shade Tahiti Green, which is the like neon like lime kind of shimmer color, and put that right in the like inner third of my eyelid. Just to add a little something to the look, you know? Just to add a little bit more than the teal shade that I adore so much. And when doing this last time, it kind of created this weird cast, so I'm going back in with that 01 brush again and just tapping over, dibble-dabble back and forth to make sure that there's no like weird cast from the shimmer to matte transition. And then just one more time, I'm going to go back in with this brush, which had like the pinks and stuff on it, and blend the edges since we added that blue in there. I'm going to go back in with a little bit of the shade Fruity. I feel like we lost kind of the depth that I created on this side, so I'm going to kind of build back up. So I'm going to go in with Fruity to intensify the edges. And one more time on the edge with this big fluffy brush. That was good enough. I'm going to go ahead and do my base off camera, and we'll be back for the lower lash line and the inner corner and all that fun stuff. Okay, so base is done. I did my little Rephr demo. We're good. We're looking cute. Nice and creamy. I used a matte foundation with oil under it, and so I was like, let's not use like a bunch of powder on the base. Let's just do like a powder highlight and then cream everything else. And I really like it. I feel very fresh and dewy. Juicy cheeks. Love it. Anyway, let's see. What am I going to do? I think I want to take the shade Lagoon, which is this blue right here. I'm going to take that back on the same Rephr 14 brush that's like that fluffier blending brush. I just wiped it off on my pants, so it should be like clean enough. And I'm going to start going under the lower lash line with that one. Just gently. Kind of connecting it up into the blue we already have there, the dark blue. Then I'm going to take this little itty bitty Rephr 03 brush. It's like a little tiny itty bitty pencil brush. I'm going to go back in with the shade The Deep, which is that dark blue, and kind of tightline with that, like right on the lower lash. Make it a little bit like smokier. And just, oh shit, that was the, oops, okay, guess we're going a different route. I grabbed the blue with the deep on it, the brush with the deep on it, whoops, whoa, adjust, readjust, okay, thank you. I'm gonna go in with just it's a Morphe brush, it doesn't have a name on it. For this color, I'm gonna go in with the shade Key Lime, which is the bright the neon green in here, the neon green matte, I should say, and run that under the lower lash line as well, just to bring a little bit of like spice in there, not just blue. We're gonna go a little fun, you know. Then back in with the brush that had the deep on it and re-intensifying that a little bit. For my inner corner, I'm going to take the Rever 12 brush. This is a like big, thick kind of pencil brush. I really like these kind of brushes for inner corner. What shade? Now, what shade do I want to use in this vault of sexiness? Let's take a look. You guys will never be able to decide for me, but maybe this one. Yeah, let's do that one. I'll have to insert the name on the screen because I'm not sure what it is at this very moment. I'm just going to pack it on this brush ever so gently. These are a little bit harder to pick up on a brush, so I am actually going to wet that. Pop that in the inner corner. Okay, and that is all for tonight's look. I'm gonna pop off and do my lips and my lashes, maybe some liner, I'm not sure yet, like in the waterline. If I do, I will let you know what it is and all of that, and I will be back to show you the completed look, so see you in a moment. Okay, so here's my completed look here. Rundown on what I used for the lips. Nope, not that. For the lips, I used my Becca Ultimate Lip Definer in the shade Fearless. It's really good for like a concealer nude. And then I used the Dose of Colors gloss in Can You Not, and then a little bit of the NYX Slip Tease gloss in the shade Chic Appeal, just to lighten it up a tad more. I did add some color into my waterline. I did 2 of the LA Girl Shockwave liners. I mixed the shades Pop, which is a hot pink, and Blaze, which is more like a pinky purple. I thought this one on its own was a little bit too dark, so I just mixed the hot pink in there to like make it pop a little more. And for lashes, I believe these are Tati TL4s, but they weren't in a package, so I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me, but I'm like 99% sure. I typically know my Tati lashes, but I haven't worn lashes in probably 3 or 4 months now, so this is like a first time deal for me again. It's kind of crazy, but I hope you enjoyed the video. I really like the look. It's kind of like oil slick but make it neon, you know. I love the way my skin turned out, even though I didn't do that on camera. Sorry, it's 25 days of eyeshadow. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one.